The UK is a very, very small, wonderful, contested, congested, packed bit of airspace. The Civil Aviation Authority is the aviation regulator. Our role is to work collaboratively with industry and government to make sure that air travel remains as safe and secure as possible. We work very closely with National Air Traffic Services and the Royal Air Force.
The defence of the UK homeland and the control of the United Kingdom's airspace is our prime role in the Royal Air Force. It's the 75th anniversary of the Battle of Britain, where our use of radar was brought into the Royal Air Force. So it's an auspicious time to be carrying out our job. Here at Bulmer, we compile the recognised air picture for the United Kingdom 365 days a year. We receive flight plan data so that anything flying through UK airspace we'll be able to track and identify it.
NATS is the UK's primary air navigation service provider. We do roughly 2.3 million movements a year through the controlled airspace. Having a joint and integrated approach helps both sides. The military get more effective routings and NATS uses the airspace to greater effect. If there is an air policing event, then we work really closely together.
It's important that we know exactly what's flying in our airspace and also that we can intercept and identify anything that's flying. If we spot an unknown aircraft, my team will pass it up through the chain of command to my surveillance director. He'll make a decision on whether it's something appearing on the radar due to weather or an aircraft that's maybe doing something untoward. If I believe it needs elevating, we'd raise it on an international distress frequency. If all other courses of action fail, we can launch quick reaction alert fighters from either Lossiemouth or Coningsby to go and visually identify the aircraft.
QRA, which stands for Quick Reaction Alert, involves quite a few different assets, all the way down to us at the bases, which involves the aircraft, the engineering support team. We'll have engineers and pilots and crews that cycle through 24 hours a day. Effectively, it is a 365 days a year mission that we conduct.
When the QRA are scrambled, they have absolute priority over everything that happens on the airfield. My responsibility upstairs in the tower will be getting the aircraft onto the runway, getting the aircraft airborne. It will be up to the controllers to develop a plan to make sure the QRA was totally uninhibited on its departure, but yet keep the other aircraft safe.
I work as Officer Commanding the Distress and Diversion Cell at NATS Swanwick. The civilian and military supervisors work really closely together during a scramble. We would get that aircraft as high as possible, as soon as possible. The civilians will essentially try and clear the airspace around and ahead of the aircraft.
My main task is to guide the aircraft onto the target to make sure they maintain contact so they're able to carry out any further tasks as delegated by higher authority.
Ultimately, it would go all the way up to the powers that be in government, and there will always be somebody available to make that decision at short notice.
We are at the front line of UK homeland defence. It's always a busy job. No matter what's happening in the world, there's always something going on in the UK that keeps us busy.